You guys have been working so hard lately, and I'm just so excited. We're going to start a new thing today, and they are called contracts. And I'm going to show you about that in a minute. But first, I just wanted to go over our shelf sections and just kind of refresh your memory that our shelves actually have subject areas to them. And you might have been aware of this or not, but usually, for instance, we usually have all of our science stuff over here on this part of our brown shelf, right next to our botany shelf. And then the rest of this shelf is usually filled with arts or things for the little ones to play with. And it's usually on this end. Eventually, one day we'll have history stuff on this shelf, but not for quite a while. And then over here, we have our sensory table and then our mathematics shelf. This is our new shelf where our language arts stuff is gonna go. Like our letter stuff, we're starting letters this week. And then this is our like water snack compost table. And then this is our geography shelf where all of our earth stuff is. And our practical life stuff goes there. So now that you've had a brief review of our subject areas in the classroom, I want to show you the contract. This is something each of you are going to have every single day. Okay, so almost every day you guys are going to have a contract, and you will have your name on here, which you will need to trace. Just like we worked on tracing our shapes, you are going to need to trace your name and then the date. And we'll go over this at circle time. We'll do this together for the first few months. And then there are 2 columns. And this first column is a list of all our subject areas. And then it has a picture of the area in the classroom where these are located, just as a reminder. So here's our practical life stuff, like our kitchen stuff and our cleaning stuff, all that stuff that we're learning about, you can find on the practical life shelf. We have our sensory area, our sensory table. We have our brand new shelf, language arts, for our letters. For our numbers and our shapes, we have our mathematics shelf. For geography, when we learn about Earth and the globe and land, air, and water, we have our little gray shelf with the blue legs. We haven't talked much about history yet, so we don't have an assigned spot, but it will be shared on the big brown shelf that Science and Visual Arts shares. So this is our sciences and our visual arts, like when we do our art stuff. Okay, so on this is just a sample. I'm going to show you guys how to use the contract. On this side of the contract, you are going to find the works that you need to do for the day. So this is our work for the day. And if we go over here, we will see that we are going to find it on the mathematics shelf. And a reminder of what mathematics is it's where we're learning about shapes and numbers. And this is what the shelf looks like. So we need to find the shelf, which I think I found it right here. This is our math shelf, right guys? And okay, so before you look at your contract, you're going to want to pick out your work map for the day. You'll pull it out of the basket. You will take it over to your area of the rug where you would like to work and unroll it. Make sure it's all nice and smooth and ready for your work. Once you have your mat rolled out, you will then take a look at your contract. This is the work that is on our contract. So we need to find that on our math shelf. And here it is. I think I found it. Now that I've found my work, I'm going to go put my contract down by my mat. Just like this. And then I'm going to come back over here to grab my work, being sure to use both hands. Remember, we need to use both hands and calm feet while we're walking our work to our mat. Before I sit down to do my work, I'm just going to double check and make sure that this is the correct work I was looking for. Yes, this is correct. Once I am sure that I have chosen the correct work, I will then sit down and begin to do my lesson. Square, circle, rectangle, oval, trapezoid, triangle, pentagon. When you are all finished with your work, you will need to call me over so that way I can see that you completed the work. Once I have seen that you have completed your work, I will then ask to see your contract. And that is why it's important that you have it sitting next to you. I will then find the picture of the lesson or activity, and I will put a big star next to it, showing that you completed it and you mastered the lesson. Well done. When you are all finished with your lesson, it is very important that you put it back. It is very important that you pick up your activity and put it back just the way that you found it on the shelf, so that way our next friend can do the activity. Still be sure to be very gentle with all materials, using careful, calm, gentle hands. When you have all the materials back on the tray, you will then use your careful, calm feet and your gentle hands to carry the tray back to the shelf. Once the tray has been returned to the shelf, you may then look at your contract to see what activity you should choose next. These contracts are very important. These are the works you're going to do throughout the day. Just like mommy and daddy go to work, these are your works, and they're very important to your learning and to your knowledge. When you're all finished for the day, you can put these in your backpack and take them home to show your mom and dad all the hard work you did. I'm so excited for you guys to start these. You're gonna love them. It gives you such independence, responsibility, accountability, all those big words we've been working on for the past few weeks. Let's build good character and work hard on these together. And don't forget, Miss Laura is always here to help, and so are your friends.